All right, so in this heat, you want to make sure to keep everything wrapped up really, really well, right? So you can see I've got some damp paper towels over my cube. Now these are damp, and what does damp mean? Well, damp means that they're not sopping wet, right? Like I can take these and I can't even I can't squeeze a drop of water out, maybe one or two if I squeeze really, really hard. Now look, if I put wet paper towels on there, this whole thing is gonna get soaked and it's gonna fall apart, all right? So that's not what we wanna do, not wet. So here's my cube, and I've been working it. And you know, sometimes you have to make a second set of panels. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes it takes extra time. But show me what you got, you know, just show, and then, you know, you can always remake stuff as we go. We do another material pickup here too, and maybe a drop off if you have some dry stuff, maybe the week of the 14th or so. Again, my clay was wrapped up really tight, right? Everything's wrapped up tight. So I want to talk about how you can potentially kind of do some adding to this if you wanted to. Now you got to keep it leather hard if you're going to add to it. Also, leather hard is the perfect time to carve, okay? This is just an option, all right? So look, I'm going to make this little cone-shaped piece of clay. And I think one of my students, one of my student examples that I showed you for this assignment has some of this work on it. So I've made this little cone. This is what is called a simple pinch pot. This is a whole new forming method I haven't shown you yet, so this is a little introduction to this. How my thumb is going to the middle. Basically, you can make like half of a sphere in this way. My thumb is going all the way down the middle to the bottom, and then I'm going in a circle, round and round and round, kind of thinning it out. All right. So if you wanted to pinch some more spherical forms or bits of them, or pinch one and then cut it up and look at maybe different ways to kind of position it around the cube, that would be cool. So this, you can really take this far. If I get down here and make this really thin down here and then keep spiraling up, I can get quite a bit of form out of that little piece of clay. It's actually quite amazing. Now this clay that I'm working with is pretty awfully soft, right? Whereas the cube is fairly what is called leather hard, right? So if I wanted to attach parts of this to the cube, I wouldn't want to do that right now. Now you can take a pinch pot and you can make it look like an eye, or you can make it look like an eyelid, or you can pinch it different and make it look like a nose and then slip and score it and attach it, right? You could attach this thing to this piece. So we'll look at that. We'll let this pinch pot dry up a bit and we'll just look at how to do that. And then you can have the option to add to it, of course. And you don't have to, just an option. The other thing you could do at this point with this cube, because it's so nice and leather hard, I mean, it's perfect for carving, right? You could take and draw a picture on it and then carve away at it to make the picture more like relief. But it's really starting to get nice and clean, this cube. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap it back up. And I'm actually going to let this pinch pot sit out, dry a little bit until it gets leather hard. And then we'll just talk about how you could apply some things to the outside of your cube. Now, if you apply too much and it's things sticking all off, they're all just going to break. That's why I'm using this kind of rounded form to show you this. Also, that rounded form is going to play into our next assignment, because our next assignment is to make a sphere. All right, so a sphere, a cube, and then we're going to make a sphere next. All right, we always have to be sure we're wrapping our stuff up really, really well, especially with this heat. And this one I'm going to let dry a little bit because I'm going to play around with attaching parts of it to that. Remember, always squeeze all the air out of your clay bag as well. All right.